Hey Pisces, welcome to Black Star Tarot. This is just a quick energy check-in to see what's going on with you guys. I want to give these cards a good old shuffle because I don't want them to, well, one flew out already. All right, so who we got? We have our first chakra, Archangel Michael. And you know what? If you don't mind, I would like to read that. I always like to hear what the angels have to say. If it wasn't for the fact that the angel was on, I wouldn't read it at all. But Archangel Michael is my favorite angel, and I want to hear what information he wants to share with you guys. Okay, so this is about stability and security. So Michael holds a beautiful globe of red energy at the first chakra, which is located at the base of the spine. This is a place where your sense of stability and security is stored. When this card is upright, it reveals that your energy is flowing freely regarding these issues. Even if you've had problems with feeling secure in the past, these challenges are beginning to be resolved at this time. Archangel Michael is with you, bringing you strength and personal stability. You are capable of taking action and moving forward on your path. So allow yourself to feel increasing faith in your own power and security now and always. I like that. See, I knew I wanted to read that for a reason because I could have never explained this card like the book can. All right, so this is all about your safety. This is all about your security. Card 35, that's a 7. So Spirit is guiding you through this time right now. You don't have anything to worry about. You are definitely being supported. You know, it's crazy out here, right? And it is hard for one. And sometimes, like, being in relationships or having some type of support system, you know, feels good, particularly nowadays, being that things are so chaotic. And a lot of you could be or could have been in a place of fear, right, when it came to your safety and your security, or even being alone. But with the Hangman in reverse, which is another card of Pisces, right, I feel like you're letting go of that mindset. Like, none of those things really haunt your mind anymore. You're not afraid to do it by yourself. You're not afraid of being alone. Like, you've transitioned into a place where, you know, you can survive happily, quietly. Okay, yes, you have to sacrifice some things, you know, if you're, you know, when you have to pay for everything, have to do everything, have to fix everything, you know, it can be a burden. But for you right now, Pisces, I feel like the fear of that, you're letting go. Okay, you're letting go of that. You sure are. I told you, letting go. Letting go. I like this. This is moving on to calmer waters. Things are getting better. You legitimately don't have to worry about your money anymore. You don't have to worry about feeling trapped anymore. You don't have to worry about it, period. Like, the High Priestess knows better. All right, you're mastering something here. Being silent, being by yourself, right? I feel like a lot right now, some of you are extremely by yourself, like almost hidden away to some extent. But with the High Priestess here, that tells me, yeah, Pisces is here quite a lot. This is Pisces, that's Pisces. You know, I just feel like you're in your own element, okay? And you're thinking about it. Some of you, I don't know, it's like Secret Squirrel even, right? When I see the High Priestess, I think of like Secret Squirrel. Taking the high road, like, you know, thinking above everything else, like being knowledgeable, being in silence, but knowing, right, that, you know, that protecting your energy, protecting yourself, leaving energies of fear behind. You're not trapped, you know. And look, I love the way this is in the middle where you have the Hangman and the Eight of Swords, excuse me, right? The Eight of Swords usually speaks of restrictions, like negative thoughts, feeling trapped, right? Analysis paralysis, as they say, you know. But you're letting go of that because the Hangman is in reverse. You know, he's just like, you know what, I'm good. I'm leaving all of that behind, right? I'm thinking about this money right here. Like, your goal right now is your security. It is your stability. That's what's on your mind right now. And some of you at some point in time, and maybe even still right now, you may feel stuck, but I don't know why, right? You know what to do. The High Priestess always knows what to do. So you don't have to fear, you don't have to worry, you don't have to doubt. Pisces. So the energy that's heading in for you is really getting you in a place where you're spending some quiet time alone to figure out what it is that you need to do for your security, for your financial stability, and so on and so on. So creativity is on steroids for some of you. Got Gemini, Virgo coming in here. The Magician talks about tapping into those skills, right? Having the resources you need, taking action towards your goal, putting all of your power and concentration into what it is that you're trying to get, what you're manifesting. I can see you working on something. That I can see. Look, and there's the Hermit, right? I don't know. I guess, remember I said secret squirrel? You guys are like almost tucked away. Like everybody's like, hello, Pisces, where are you? And you're like, I ain't here. Knowing you're sitting right there in the house. Like you hear the doorbell, you hear the knocks, but some of you are just like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to spend some time in solitude. I'm going to withdraw. I'm going to reflect. And I'm going to start working on, my money. Because you can't make this shit up. Look. Somebody just don't want to be bothered. All right? The Eight of Swords, the Six of Swords. It talks about, like, again, overcoming, those harder times of life. Some of you could be traveling. Some of you could be accepting the lessons of the situations that you're going through. But what you're really doing is you're releasing shit. You're releasing people. You're releasing situations that don't serve you. And 2 times, not once, but twice, you're coming over those obstacles. And I like this, okay? You're getting right back into the element where you belong in flow, right? You're a water sign. Get it together, right? You're going back into flow. And that's where you need to be. That's where your creativity is, right? That's where you're going to manifest all of this. And that's what you're doing. You're manifesting resources, stability, money, and so on. Look at these majors popping off. I like it. All right. We got the Chariot, more water. Yeah, let's go. Get in that flow. What we dealing with here? It could be a Cancer for some of you, but the Chariot represents that drive, that determination, okay? You're making a lot of progress towards whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. I can see it here. And what I like about the Chariot, it also speaks of success, victory, all right? So, like I said, you guys are traveling rather physically or energetically into a new experience where I feel that it's going to be good for you. Now, just a little, don't throw it out there, right? It's okay to disconnect, okay? But there is a line where it's unhealthy, okay? So go ahead and, step back from the world while you get yourself together. But, don't turn mad, don't turn bitter. And I don't know who I'm saying that for, but I'm just throwing it out there because I see the solitude, and it's not always a good thing when you're kind of tucked away by yourself for too long. Okay, again, get back out there, and share your gifts, right? Share your experiences. You don't have to seclude yourself, and run away from the world. All right, the Four of Pentacles talks about, being guarded, right? Being possessive. All right, but it does speak of your financial stability and having control over your finances, having control over your security. Okay, but it also means being stingy. All right, it also can mean being greedy, right? Clinging on, to whatever it is that you have left, but don't let, just watch it. You know what I'm saying? I was feeling it's not for all of you, but some of you. Okay, it's okay to step back for a minute, okay? But remember that, you got to be you still got to share your gifts, right? The Six of Cups is all about sharing. All right, reconciliation. Some of you could be thinking about the past a lot, things that may have happened in the past. Maybe that's what you're thinking about, things you don't want to repeat, cycles you don't want to see come back into the future again. So all of that is here. But for now, Pisces, I can see where you're kind of stepping back, and you're working on your safety, your security, your finances, and you're kind of tucking yourself away. I mean, you're really tucked away. Oh my. It's the strongest energy that I feel here. Some of you, because I feel like you need to cut off the world. Others of you, you're just working on your money, your stability, your creativity, and you just don't want, any communication or messages from anyone right now because you're looking for, clarity, right? You're looking for new ideas, things of that nature, ways that you can make new money, right? Things, ways to balance out your life, okay? You're, being honest and truthful about what it is that you need to survive. you know, what it is that you need to boost yourself forward. Some of you may get, as far as jobs, maybe some offers may come in, but I don't think that's what you want. I don't think any of you, or some of you may not be looking for an actual job. You're looking for peace, serenity, quiet. You know, you want to work for yourself, do your own, you know, have your own ideas or your own employment. I don't know. You're working towards something, whatever that means for you. Just don't go too dark. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's okay to cut the world off so you get clarity, but don't, you know, go out, get some vitamin D, get some sunlight, go out, you know, have a good time. You know, you're not stuck, you have options. When you sit around too much, you know, you become restless. Some of you are maybe even like, I don't know, I feel like some of you may be fixated, not angry, but maybe fixated on, you know, attachments to the past. Okay, so let that go and enjoy this time. So I'm gonna get you one last card just for an outcome. Let's see if we can get a card. Just Spirit, can I just get, you know, some advice? There we go. That's what I want. Advice. One card for advice, and then we'll move on. Pisces. So I see you. Okay, you tucked away. So we have a Tower. So this is telling me that you're trying to restructure everything. Okay, you're tired of the old. You want something new. This is a card of Scorpio or Aries. So right now, you guys are willing to let it all fall down just in order to get some type of change, okay? You know, for the sun to rise again. I get it. All right. You may not be certain about like what the future is going to hold, but I know you're filled with revelations, aren't you? Like, you know what? I could do this with myself. I could do this. I can open this. I can start this. I could work here. I could get rid of that. So I do feel that. So I get it. Much needed change. You guys are, you know, in hermit mode. That's where you're at. You're stepping back so that you can make the necessary changes that you need to make so that you can be happy. All right, Pisces, this is what I have for you. This is the energy that's headed your way. All right, actually it's headed here now. It's been here already. All right, so enjoy this Tower because I feel like this is what you need. You know, break everything down so you can start all over again.